I still remember the exact moment my world cracked open, like a fault line ripping through everything I thought was solid. "We're rehoming Shadow," my mom said, her voice flat, like she was reading from a grocery list. "Eunice can't breathe around dogs anymore." Shadow, my 12-year-old black lab mix, the one who'd slept at the foot of my bed since I was 22, looked up at me with those cloudy amber eyes, tail sweeping the floor in slow, trusting arcs. And in that second, I felt something inside me snap. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet, irreversible break. That was 3 years ago, but it still wakes me up some nights, heart pounding like I'm falling. Back then, life looked stable from the outside. I was 34, senior project coordinator at a biotech firm in Seattle, good salary, corner office with a view of the sound on clear days. I turned my life into a well-oiled machine. Alarm at 5:45, strong coffee while I scanned emails, gym 3 times a week, auto pay for everything so nothing ever slipped. I like control. I needed it. Because growing up, control was the one thing nobody in my family ever had. Shadow was my anchor. I got him right after college when I was drowning in student loans and a breakup that left me hollow. He was this scrawny rescue with one ear that flopped sideways, and the second he leaned against my leg in that shelter, I knew he was mine. He'd been through every apartment, every promotion, every lonely holiday when I couldn't afford to fly home. He didn't judge. He just stayed. The trouble started 4 years earlier when my parents showed up from Nevada with nothing but a rented trailer and stories about starting fresh. Dad's contracting work had dried up. Mom was tired of the desert. They needed a place to land. Just temporarily, they swore. I was doing well enough, so I said yes. Found us a spacious 3-bedroom in Capitol Hill with hardwood floors and a tiny fenced yard perfect for Shadow. Rent was steep, but I could swing it alone. Then came the asks. Small at first. Could they put their names on the lease for stability? Dad's credit was supposedly better. It wasn't. Landlord preferred multiple incomes. I signed. Mistake number 1. Next, groceries. Utilities. We'll pay you back when things pick up. Things never picked up. Instead, my sister Lana got pregnant with Mia, and suddenly every conversation revolved around the baby. Lana, the favorite, the one who could cry on command and make you feel like a monster for saying no, started dropping Mia off for just an hour that turned into whole afternoons. Mom babysat happily. I came home with toys everywhere, pureed carrots on my counters, and Shadow banished to the balcony because babies and dogs don't mix when they're crawling. I tried talking about boundaries. Spreadsheets. Calm discussions over dinner. Dad would laugh it off. "We're family, Riley. Loosen up." Mom would sigh. "After everything we've sacrificed for you kids." Lana would text later. "You're being selfish. It's just a little help." The money bleed was slow, insidious. I went from covering rent to covering everything. $3,800 a month, sometimes more when Dad's truck needed emergency repairs or Mom decided we needed new appliances. I'd pay directly because cash disappeared too fast and then noticed charges that didn't add up. A $400 tool reimbursement that never materialized. A Venmo to Lana for baby stuff that somehow covered her nails too. I told myself it was temporary, that they get jobs, contribute. But months turned into years, and the apartment stopped feeling like mine. My parking spot became Dad's. My Netflix account had 4 extra profiles. Shadow's vet bills? I paid those alone, even when Mom promised she'd handle it this month. Then came the allergy lie. It wasn't even Mia who was allergic at first. It was Lana's new boyfriend's kid from a previous relationship. Some toddler I'd met once. Suddenly, Lana wanted to move in temporarily while she figured things out. More space for the kids. More visits. And Shadow? He shed. He barked sometimes when the doorbell rang. He was stressful for sensitive little lungs. Mom printed out adoption papers from some rescue site. Left them on the kitchen island like takeout menus. "We found a farm up north," she said one evening, folding laundry that wasn't hers. "Lots of land. He'd be happier." I laughed at first. Thought it was a bad joke. Then Dad chimed in from his recliner. "My recliner. We're all on a lease, kiddo. Majority rules." Majority. Like my dog was a vote on paint colors. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the floor with Shadow's head in my lap, feeling his warm breath against my wrist, and something dark settled in my chest. Not anger yet. Worse. Clarity. But that wasn't the worst of it. 3 days earlier, I'd gotten a weird bank alert. A new recurring payment added to my account. $1.050 a month to some property management company I'd never heard of. I froze when I saw it. Because the payment description? Rente contribution et l'ARPER. Lana's initials. I dug deeper. Found emails in my sent folder that I hadn't written. Polite inquiries to landlords about 3-bedroom units downtown for our growing family. Applications submitted with my income listed as household total. One even had my digital signature forged at the bottom. They weren't just planning to stay. They were planning to take over completely. Push me into a corner bedroom, maybe while Lana and the kids claim the master. Keep my paycheck flowing like nothing had changed. And the storage unit? That was for my stuff. The one they'd already reserved in my name to clear space when I inevitably agreed. I didn't scream, didn't confront them. I just prepared. That week, I changed every password, enabled 2-factor, moved my direct deposit to a new account at a different bank, called the leasing office and learned the truth. All signers are jointly and severally liable, meaning if I stopped paying, it could destroy my credit too. But there was a way out. Vacate formally, request removal, force them to qualify a loan. So the night they laid down the ultimatum about Shadow, I didn't argue. I just looked at my boy, clipped on his leash, and said, "Let's go for a walk." We never came back. I crashed with a co-worker who had a spare room. Left most of my furniture, didn't want the fight. Took Shadow, my documents, my laptop, and the quiet satisfaction of knowing rent was due in 8 days. The text started immediately. "You're abandoning your family. Me is asking about Uncle Riley. How can you do this to your mother?" Then the threats. "We're on the lease. You still have to pay. Your credit will tank too." I didn't reply. Let my attorney handle it. Sent one certified letter. I vacated. No further contributions. Direct all communication to counsel. When management asked my parents to prove income without me, they couldn't. 72 hours. Then a pay or quit notice. Dad showed up at my work one afternoon, looking smaller than I remembered. "Fix this," he said in the lobby. "You're killing your mom." I met his eyes. "No, you did this the moment you thought you could vote away my dog to make room for your lies." He left without another word. They moved out before eviction. Found a cheaper place farther out. Lana went crawling back to her boyfriend. And me? I got a quiet 1-bedroom with a sunlit patio. Signed the lease alone. Paid the deposit with money that was finally, truly mine. Shadow lived another year. Happy, spoiled, sleeping on my bed every night until the end. Sometimes I still get texts. Apologies. Excuses. Requests for just a little help. I don't answer. Because the real betrayal wasn't the dog. It wasn't even the money. It was realizing the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally saw me as a resource to be managed. A vote to be outcounted. And the day I walked out with Shadow by my side, that was the day I finally chose myself. So tell me, if your family tried to take the one thing that kept you sane, the one soul who'd never betrayed you, would you forgive them? Or would you walk away too? Thanks for watching. Do subscribe for more stories.